What it do, YouTube?
What's up?
It's your boys.
Let's go.
Man. We just came up that. Hey, dub.
Let's go.
Big dub versus the Cardinals, man. And you know, it's week 14, so what we got coming up, Nuggie?
Well, we got some great things to talk about. But first, if you're watching, just take a moment. Subscribe, hit the like button. That helps us out. That gives us more ability to get more content to you. Because we're dropping stuff for you every single week. Multiple things. Whether it be on the Instagram, the Twitter. It don't matter. But for this episode, we got some great things to talk about. Of course, we're going to talk about the dub. You know, how can we not talk about that? Then I'm going to break down the playoff picture. What it takes for the Rams to secure a spot in the playoffs. After that, we're gonna break down the Patriots game, and then we'll end the show by talking about Kudi's corner.
Yes, sir.
Give him a little hint. Who's gonna be in Kudi's corner this week? Who's it gonna be?
That's all you get. That's all you get.
I think I know. You know what? Take a moment. Watching it right now. We can see the timestamp. Tell us who you think is going to be in Kudi's corner, or who you think deserves to be in Kudi's corner.
Yeah, like you said, let us know in them comments how you guys feel about last week's win against the Cardinals, who you think is going to be in Kudi's corner, as well as how confident you are going into next week against the Patriots. Everybody just tap in real quick on those comments.
Let's go.
And we'd love to talk to you and interact with you.
Yeah, it's a big game. We're going to break it all down, and we're excited to have you here. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Kudi, do you know what I love?
Women?
Well, yeah. But victory formation.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, hitting that at the end of the game, best play in football.
For sure.
Right? Come on, it feels good. It's like, woo! Get all pumped for that, right? You sit back, relax, and watch it. I mean, you can't really complain about that. That's kind of like, that was my little thing. I love that, but what'd you think of the game?
No, first things first, what a all-around effort from our team, man. On both sides of the ball, offense, defense, man. We played a great game, bro. It was just fun to watch, bro.
I mean, the first thing we definitely have to talk about is Jared Goff. I mean, coming back after just...
He heard the noise.
He heard the noise. He was majority of the reason why we lost the game. And coming back and throwing up 300 yards, a rushing touchdown, multiple passing touchdown. I mean... Hell to the you can't really beat that.
Hell yeah. He looked cool, calm, collected in the pocket, and it led to great throws. And I want to highlight also our offensive line that figured it out later down the line. In the beginning, it was looking a little shaky, but they made the proper adjustments, and they gave him great protection, and that gave him time and gave him some easy passes.
Yeah, I mean, and look at easy passes between Robert Woods, 10 catches for 85 yards. I mean, that's a damn good fantasy game. That's a solid game. That was just overall just a great game. This is why we love the Rams. We love watching games like this. Yeah. And it's entertaining, it's fun to watch, and it's fun to cheer on the Rams when they're playing like this, because we know they can play like this every single game.
For sure. And when Jared Goff plays that well, you see the openings open up for our running backs. And it opens up our ground game. And it just makes us way more unpredictable, because in the other games that we lose, you can tell that the defense are keying in on what we tend to do, just because we're getting stuck in trying to coach around Jared Goff. So when he's playing as good as he was yesterday, it opens up our offense. It makes it all flow better, and you saw how successful we were on the offensive side of the ball.
We had over 100 yards rushing. We were able to develop that play action. I feel like we're repeating ourselves sometimes, but that's how important it is. We need to develop the run to get the play action, and Goff plays better.
Yep.
You know,
that's the key.
10 catches by Woods for 85 yards. That's 8.5. That's nothing crazy, but that gets Goff into his vibe. And you were telling me about Jefferson. How well did he do in this game?
Van Jefferson did a great job. And in the beginning of the game, he wasn't really playing all that much. And it was a problem just because we were having a tough time, our receivers, at getting open. Yep. And I heard a couple commentators say it, and it was pretty true. We were having a tough time stretching the field because we didn't have any receivers that really had that like breakaway speed that were like, you can't really guard him one-on-one like that. And Van Jefferson came in, and he stretched the field out really well. And even when he's not even catching the ball, it puts pressure on their secondary.
It's that threat of the deep ball.
And it opens up all the other guys, just like Woods, just like Kupp. And you saw him come in and make an immediate impact. And I love Van Jefferson. I think we need to keep playing him and keeping him in that position that he was in, because he did a great job opening for offense.
That was a great draft pick this year.
Definitely.
Really excited for how he's developing. Speaking of a great draft pick this year, Cam Akers. Oh, another touchdown.
Yeah.
He almost,
should have 2.
He should have had 2, but, can't fault him for that. They were in the backfield before he even had the ball.
Yeah, they blew that play out.
On that 4th down play, but, did he have 80 yards?
Yeah, he had I think he had 70, he had 71 or 72, but almost 80 yards. He was doing his thing, and I feel like when he does his thing, it lets Henderson, puts all the pressure on him.
He broke off for that.
Exactly.
Oh, yes.
And then he's able to come in and do those kind of giant runs, and yeah, it just keeps the gears running when we have multiple running backs doing as good as they are.
Everything was flowing really well.
Yeah.
And Kyler Murray, supposed to be this great quarterback. He's good. He's supposed to be this great. He didn't have his second completion until 41 seconds in the second quarter.
Wow.
They had that busted play, the tight end. We had the 59-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But after that, he didn't have a single catch until the last drive of the second quarter.
That is crazy, man.
Talk about shutting
him down. And you talk about Jared Goff out-dueling him after we just called him out for getting out-dueled by Mullins or whatever.
Whatever you're saying. Yeah, right.
But, he bounced back, and he outperformed Kyler Murray, who everybody was speaking of being in the MVP discussion at the beginning of the year. So that's a great sign for us, and it's a great sign for Jared Goff. But one thing that I wanted to say was that one of my favorite parts of the game came when we were actually down 7-0 in the beginning. Mm-hmm. We were looking at our defense to kind of make a response after they just went down 7-0. And I love the cohesiveness and the leadership on our sideline. Last year, a couple years ago, it'd be hard to find that kind of, leader on our defense, and let alone on our whole team. But there was a shot that I saw in the beginning of the game, and it was right after we went down 7-0. And it's Jalen Ramsey, and he was dapping up all the defenders, saying, hey, let's go, we're trying to get back into this. And then right behind him, right as he's doing that, you saw Aaron Donald teaching up Fox, telling him how to properly get into the backfield, get into stairs, all this stuff. So you see these 2 leaders who are our 2 best players on defense, and they're leading our team like that. And that's the kind of cohesiveness you need as a group to be able to win championships, just in sports, not even in football.
They're coaching them up, they're making them better, and whenever these other players perform better, that frees up Donald to do his thing. Because you know what? If you want to triple team Donald, of course you're going to stop him. Mm-hmm. He's only human, but you're going to free up other players on the team by doing that. And he's like, hey, do this when they do this. And that's giving him the ability to not be triple teamed as much.
Yeah. And I want to shout out Sebastian Joseph Day too, man. You played a great game.
Yep.
He had that one deflection in the end zone.
That was huge.
Yeah, he had a couple big tackles for losses. So, hey, you were doing your thing. And besides that, one thing that I wanted to say was that we had other guys that not necessarily were big names going into the season that are also giving us great effort on the defensive side. Rieger, I think his name is. He did a great job coming in at linebacker. Also, we have Young, who he did a great job at linebacker. We have a bunch of different guys who are all filling in these other extra roles, and they're stepping up to the plate because our defense is firing off on such a high degree that, hey, more and more guys can step up into those positions, and more of them can be successful because, good defense breeds successful defenders.
They're just playing well.
Mm-hmm.
But, can't just sugarcoat everything and just talk about how good it was, even though there was a lot of good. Not taking away anything from them, but there were 2 things that I have to bring up. First of all, I think it was 6-7 minutes left in the third quarter. It was 4th and 12. We can't let them convert on that.
Yeah, that was a backbreaker.
That brings it up to exactly, that's a backbreaker, but it brings it up to my next point. We had the foot on their throat, and we didn't press down. We have to finish them off. We absolutely have to do that because we can't win games. we're not going to win every game if we keep on letting them come in. There was multiple times in the game where they came within 3 points because we just didn't finish them off.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be a miscue on the punter, the punt returner, what's his name? Oh my goodness, I'm blanking on it. Whatever. Webster, yes. Fumbling that ball. And then within like the 25-yard line.
Mm.
Defense can only stop so much. That was a very easy chance for them to score a touchdown. So it just...
And just a little preview going into the next week,
Uh-huh.
especially on the special team side of the ball, we need to be tight and we can't make mistakes on special teams. Coming into the Patriots, who are one of the best special teams not only in the NFL, but in almost NFL history according to stats right now.
Dude, they're just phenomenal.
Yeah, they're great on special teams. So yeah, like you're saying, Symon Webster needs to clean it up. I've been saying that Symon Webster, he has great hands, but he needs to start getting positive yardage, man. Like, I've been saying he's been a little iffy back there. But yeah, he needs to clean it up because we can't have those type of mistakes, especially against a good team and especially in the playoffs.
You know, those were the things I saw. We can talk about Matt Gay and we can talk about our kickers, but we know that's a struggle. But those were the things that I saw were wrong. So if that's all we're talking about wrong, overall, really damn good game.
Good game, man. And I think that's a great sign looking into next week against the Patriots, because similar to like how the Cardinals are a team that has been, trending down, the Patriots are a team that's trending up. And they're winning a lot of their games, so hey, it's a good time to get a win against a divisional opponent, get a little confidence going into next week with a tough rival. That hey, I don't know about y'all. I want revenge against these guys coming next week. But hey, we'll save that for the next segment.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's jump into that.
Let's jump into that.
Let's do it.
Perfect. Before we break down the Patriots game, I want to talk about what it takes for the Rams to make the playoffs. Just maybe a little hint. Stay for this whole segment because at the end I'm gonna be dropping maybe a little contest, some information about a contest we got upcoming. Has to do with the playoffs. But I want to start within the division. You know what? No matter what, if the Rams win the next 4 games, they're automatically first place in the NFC West. That's huge. We need that because that's going to increase our seeding in the playoffs. We don't want to be going for that wild card. We want to be the champions of the NFC West and go on a 4-game winning streak into the playoffs so we're on a roll. The biggest game are games against the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. If we can win those 2 games, that is going to be huge for us because if we beat Arizona, we don't have to worry about them anymore. But if we beat Seattle, that will in theory give us a 2-game lead because we'll have the head-to-head tiebreaker, and that'll be huge. But there are some wild card things that can happen if we lose a couple games. If we win 3 games, guaranteed in the playoffs again. We're gonna hit a wild card no matter what. But if we win 2 games, that gets really close. We need either the Vikings or the Arizona Cardinals to lose a couple games. So pretty much every game the Vikings and the Cardinals lose. So let's say if they each lose 2 games, all we gotta do is win 1 more game and we're in. If it gets down to that, what I want to talk about right now is the tiebreaker. I'll put a little picture up so you can see it, and because I didn't even know about this. But so when we're looking at tiebreaker for the wild card, first is head-to-head if applicable. So the Bucks, I didn't even mention them because we have them beat in the head-to-head, so that gives us a nice advantage. The 6-6 Vikings and the 6-6 Cardinals are important as well because they're in the conference. I mean, that's why we need to win these games, so we don't have to worry about them. But, if it happens, the next tiebreaker after head-to-head, because we hadn't played the Vikings, would be the 1-loss tied percentage in the conference. But we have a significant advantage of that. We've only lost 2 games in the conference. That was both of them to the Niners, so we're 8-2. Both the Vikings and the Cardinals are 4-4. So that is a very big advantage for us. There's a whole bunch more, but it usually doesn't get that far. So I'll just have them there so you can read them, check them out. If you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. So comment below. I can answer some more questions about that. But it's pretty self-explanatory. But before I leave, I want to mention this contest. So, as soon as the Rams have clinched a playoff berth, we will be giving away, drumroll please, a Cooper Kupp jersey. We haven't decided what jersey we're going to give away for Cooper Kupp, just because he has so many cool ones. I mean, you saw the black one I was wearing the last week. I mean, that is a fresh-ass jersey. So, the way you have to enter, there's multiple ways. We're going to start with on the Twitter. All you have to do is retweet and like it. That's all you have to do. Instagram, like it, share it to your story. Those are multiple ways to enter. And last but not least, it's right here on YouTube. All you have to do is subscribe. Give us a subscribe. Send us a screenshot of you subscribing, because it does not give us a notification who subscribed, and we will enter you in the contest. You know what? I'm going to give you another way right now. This one is for 2 entries. If you tag 2 of your friends in the comment for the post on Twitter, I'll give an extra 2 on entries. How does that sound? We want a dedicated Rams fan to win this jersey so they can rep it every game day. All right, that's what I have. Can't wait to break down the Patriots game and show what it takes to beat the Patriots. You know, that revenge game, baby. All right, have a good one. Let's jump to the next. Well, we're playing the Patriots. I mean, the thing about this game right now is the Patriots are on the bubble. 6-6. They're trying to make it into that wild card spot. They're not going to catch the Bills. That's the Bills division. They've won that all. But they're still on a chance for a wild card spot, which, you know, if they lose this game, they're pretty much done. So you know Belichick is going to bring everything he got. I don't even want to know how many consecutive years he's been in the playoffs. This could break his streak, and it will show everybody that, hey, it was just as much Tom Brady and not all Belichick.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So this is a huge game for them, and you know they're going to come out as hard as possible. They're going to give it all.
Yeah, they're going to give it their all, and the Patriots destroyed the Chargers last week.
Oh my God.
At SoFi Stadium, 45-0. So they really just embarrassed the Los Angeles team at SoFi. So we got to come to SoFi, and we got to show them that it's not easy to win there, because the Chargers embarrassed us. But yeah, we're going to go there, take back our home, the Rams house, you know, and send a message to the Patriots like, yo, you come to LA, it's going to be hard for you. You're taking an L if you come to the city.
No, yeah, I get it. And, you know, what I like to do is I like to look at past. You know, I like to get as close as possible, but the last time we played the Patriots was in the Super Bowl. And my biggest thing about this game, you know, if we lose this game, we're not out of the playoff hunt. We're still in it. But my biggest thing is, what has McVay learned since that game? You know, he's coming in as a new coach, young, against Belichick, who I believe is still, but at the time was the oldest coach to win a Super Bowl. So you have all that experience, you have all that knowledge. I'm really looking to see how McVay has matured and what he's learned from that. Because every fail, you're supposed to learn something from it. That's how I treat my life. And I'm really hoping he's able to take something from that loss.
Yes, no, for sure, definitely. And the Patriots, they're led by their improved defense and their run-heavy offense that's led by Cam Newton. But last week, they rushed for over 165 yards. Cam Newton had 2 rushing touchdowns. And the week before that, as a team, they rushed for over 110, and James White had a couple rushing touchdowns. So a big part of this game is us just limiting their rushing attack. Because on the other side, the passing side, they are terrible at passing, man. So let's just review. So last week, the Patriots scored 45 points. And guess how many passing yards Cam Newton had?
I don't know. He's not really good. 120, 115?
69.
Nice.
69 passing yards last week. So
wait, we're not talking about the 80s or 70s.
Last week. Last week.
And they had put up 45 points?
45 points with him throwing for 69 passing yards, man, which is crazy. And then the week before that, guess how many passing yards he had in that game?
Did he hit 100? I don't know. I haven't looked at his stat line.
84 yards. He was 9 for 18 with 84 yards and 2 interceptions. So let's say I'm not too concerned about our passing defense holding up this game, because you just saw what they did against Hopkins and Kyler Murray. You're just absolutely locking them up. So if that's any sign of what's going on this season, man, our defense, our secondary has been on point and doing its job. So I'm not really worried about that holding up. But like I said, the big key, one of our big keys for us, and it's not my key, but it's one of the big keys, is us just limiting their rushing attack. Because as you saw, that's pretty much all their offense besides the special teams.
And that's actually, you led right into it, my key to the game. Watching, you know who's coming up on the schedule, especially us, big Rams fans. I knew the Patriots were coming up, so I was keeping an eye on what's going on. The last 2 games, they've had multiple defensive touchdowns, multiple kick returns for touchdowns, punt block, all of this stuff. So my keys to the game is going to be no special team miscues. And when I say miscues, I mean blocked punts, fumbles on kickoffs, fumbles on punts. We can't have any of that. And I'm even going to say any kickoff or punt return that goes for 50 yards is a miscue. We had one, Chase Edmonds took it for 50 yards in the 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. That gives them great field position. We cannot do that this week. We're playing an offense that struggles. They are not good. They can't throw the ball downfield. They have to run the ball. That's going to take up a lot of time off the clock. So we have to put them on the 30-yard line and back for as many possessions as possible.
Yeah.
That is going to be huge in the game. So if we can have no special team miscues, I'm feeling very, very confident we're going to secure a win.
100%. And like we were saying, the Patriots just destroyed the Chargers last week on special teams. But it's actually funny because PFF actually has graded the Chargers as the second worst special team ever since they've ever done PFF. Like since that's been a thing.
For that one game, you're saying?
No. The team this year has been the worst at special teams.
Okay, that's good to know.
Ever known.
That's really good to know.
Exactly. So yeah, they're terrible, but still the Patriots are still one of the best at doing it. So yeah, you're right. We need to tighten it up. We need to not make any mistakes, and that'll definitely lead to us being successful. But my big key to the game was like we were saying, that their defense is one of their strong suits with getting defensive turnovers. They're one of the best at putting pressure on quarterbacks. So that was what my key to the game is. Our offensive line has to limit that pressure. Last week we did a great job. We only gave up 1 sack. And it seemed like Goff was really comfortable in there. He was
moving around. That bootleg was looking really good.
He was running around. He was doing great. So when our offensive line holds up, Goff shouldn't turn the ball over, and our offense tends to be successful. So if we're able to stop their pass rushers, they have really good pass rushers like Adam Butler and Dietrich Wise, who both got sacks on Herbert last week. And they're really good rookie linebacker, Uche from Michigan. He's been trending great over these last few weeks, and he actually had a couple quarterback pressures that led to a few interceptions from Herbert last week. So, like I'm saying, like pressure is where they get their turnovers. Pressure is where Goff tends to turn the ball over. So that Belichick and all of them, they've been. Belichick is one of the best, preppers for games. He studies cheaters sometimes. He cheats.
Sorry, cough.
Cheater. Yeah, but he's one of the best. He prepares one of the best ever. So that they're gonna be keen on that, and they're gonna try to put pressure on us. So if we're able to limit that, I think our offense will be successful. And if our offense is successful, our defense, of course, will contain them, and we should win the game.
This is a revenge game. It's the first time since, I'm gonna say it, they embarrassed us in the Super Bowl. I mean, holding us to 3 points after the year we had of putting up an average of 30 points, over 30 points per game that year. It was embarrassing, and it was not a fun game to watch. So this is our revenge game, and it's going to be very important for the Rams to play good, crisp football and not give them a chance to come back at all.
Yes, don't give them a chance.
No, we cannot do that.
Don't give them a chance. And like you're saying, let's get out to a lead and let's not give it back. I don't know if you guys saw the graphic during the game last week, but the Rams are actually 32-0 when leading at halftime since the end of 2016, early 2017. So that's the longest streak since the Patriots in 04 to 08. So if the Rams are able to get that lead, you see we don't give it back. So let's get out in front. Let's punch them out. And like you said, let's not let them back into games like we tend to be doing. Let's just have a blowout win so we can just relax and just send a message to the Patriots on revenge, like, hey man, y'all got us in the Super Bowl, but guess what? Now you are out of the playoffs this year.
We're knocking you out of the playoffs.
Exactly.
And one more thing from me, I just want to mention how we are a different team since that game. Mm-hmm. We don't have Gurley. Instead, we're running with 3 backs pretty much being involved in the game. Cam Akers is doing well. Henderson is breaking off 30-plus yard runs. And we're a completely different team from them. We don't have Cooks anymore. So they're going to have to devise a whole different plan than in the Super Bowl. But we still have to be able to be prepared to beat that plan if we want to win.
Definitely. Yeah, but like you're saying, we're a whole different team than in 2018. We have different leaders. We have a whole different game plan going into the game. So let's go out there and let's send a message to them and let's get a dub.
Let's get a dub. Well, I think that's all I have. You ready to end this thing?
Yeah, that's all I had.
Perfect. Let's end it.
Man, Kudi Corner, what's poppin' in Kudi's Corner this week, man? Y'all know what's poppin' in Kudi's Corner this week, man. I think it's a little obvious. We all know who's poppin' in Kudi's Corner this week, bro. Jared Goff, man. Standing ovation to you. Jared Goff. I gotta say, it's good to hear that you don't listen to the noise, because there's an awful lot of noise coming from the Rams and us Rams fans last week after his performance against the Niners. But it's great to hear that he can bounce back and he can be successful, and that's something that, is respectful. And I gotta say, Jared Goff, I want to apologize because you came out and you played an amazing game, man. You played an amazing game, bro. He went 37 for 47. He had 351 yards, and he had a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown. And my favorite part of his performance was, of course, that little goal line fade over to Higbee. But besides that, I gotta say, man, Jared Goff, after all that noise, you really came in and you looked calm, you looked collected, and you played a great game. And that's something that is a good sign for us coming into the playoffs. And it's a good sign that he has that veteran experience that has been, developing over these past years. Because the big thing about Jared Goff that us Rams fans are saying that, he's been around for 4 years. We paid him this big contract. We've been to the Super Bowl. We don't have time for you to develop. And he came out this last week and he looked like a good quarterback. He looked like a solid quarterback and a leader for us on offense. And that's what we need if we want to win the Super Bowl. We need Jared Goff. I hate to say it. I love to say it, actually. We need Jared Goff. So, Jared Goff, man, you're popping in Kudi's Corner this week, bro. Great sign, great game, bro. I thank you. I apologize for being so harsh on you, but, it's just what comes with being the Rams quarterback of a Los Angeles team, So, yeah. But Jared Goff, you're popping in Kudi's Corner this week, man. You did a great job. I'll see y'all next week and see what's popping in Kudi's Corner. I'll see y'all. Peace.
Wow. Another great video. How do you feel good about it?
I feel great about it.
Good. Awesome. Well, I broke down what we need to do to get into the playoffs. I mean, that's the goal. Get in the playoffs, win a Super Bowl. That is the goal this year. Boom or bust this year. That's what we want. But it all starts this week against the Patriots.
It all starts this week. It all starts with us limiting our turnovers, just limiting our mistakes. Like you said, limiting mistakes on special teams. And on the other side, we already talked about, limiting their offense and their rushing attack, as well as being able to hold off their pressure. But if we do all that, we should come out with a win. Yeah. And we're looking at, First place 904?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Yes, sir. Me too.
Well, since you're still watching, I wanted to thank you. But if you could, this really helps us a lot. Get our name out there. Take a moment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. Get more content out there. And you know what? It feels damn good to know you're enjoying the content.
Yes, sir. And you guys can also follow our socials at Across the Rams on both Twitter and our Instagram, man. We post a bunch of fire content on there
we do.
Throughout the week. And especially on game days, we go in live tweets. We go live on the Instagram every now and then. We be posting.
And before the game, I
hit
hit up my Rams player props of the week. I went 2 for 3 this week. So, if you're betting the same amount on every bet, that means you're cashing. You're doing well. So, just give us a follow. We want to interact with you. We don't do this to talk at a camera at you.
Yeah.
We do this so we can interact with you. We want to interact with dedicated Rams fans.
Yes, and also speaking of interactions, if y'all go into the comments and let us know how confident you feel going into the Patriots, how you felt about that dub last week, and how you feel about going into the playoff picture that Nugget was already breaking down. But yeah, reiterating, everybody tap in on the comments. Everybody say how you feel, and we can't wait to talk to you.
Hey, that means a lot to us. Have a great one. We out.
Yes, we out. Peace.